We actually started this video late last year. Insert gift time. I wanted to give each of you one.
Oh my goodness.
All right, crack it open. So this has been a year of development. What?
Oh my god! Oh, this is Pro sketch pack.
It's got everything, so including alcohol markers for grayscale shading.
Yeah.
Really incredible pens.
What is this? Oh my god, look at that difference in line weight. Oh, I love it.
A particularly fun one that I hadn't discovered until researching for this is the water pen combined with liquid graphite. So on top of that, you get a case.
Yes.
That inside that is made to perfectly fit all of the contents. So all of the pens will fit in there, including the markers, all the miscellaneous refills, erasers, sharpener, all that stuff goes in there. Pencils go there. And then you've got some sketchbooks. So we've got the custom drawing sketchbook. This is the dry media sketchbook. A guide to sketching. And then this is a mixed media. So if you're doing the liquid graphite or if you do any gouache or watercolour, this is the book to do that in. It's got a little bit more of a tooth to it, a little more absorbent.
That's nice.
And the pages are removable.
Yeah.
So this is for you all to have a play with.
Thank you.
Oh my god, we're back to the future. Back to the future.
Oh my god.
Kat couldn't join us. She's having a baby. So, you know, congratulations to Kat. That's very exciting.
You made that sound so good.
I know.
You're like,
So let's jump into it, shall we? All right, Leisha, do you want to get started?
So I just basically took every single pen and pencil, everything that was in the brush pack, and just did a few scribbles and working out how it looks in text, how it looks as shading. I
love what you did there with the dog.
I did a few portraits. Cool. This is my boyfriend's dog. His name is Zeke.
Zeke.
He's the cutest thing that you would ever see, but he's also gigantic and
All right, now tell us about the bloody dog.
With this portrait, I really found that using the coloured pencils underneath the sketch was really cool because you could get these really cute, like these really small bits of red that just like shine.
I was gonna not show this, but this is like
show all the stuff.
You have to show
If that's the thing about the sketchbook, it's really important that people know that scribbles are as much part of any sketchbook as the thing you flick through and go, oh my god, that looks like an amazing piece. You have to have the scribbles in the mess.
Shame page.
It's a very nice shame page.
Me, just like not knowing, like forgetting how to use pencils and very gradually just remembering through play. But just like trying to reorientate myself with pencils and paper, and then I kind of just jumped into like faces. I really like just
I can't believe that you have little experience with markers because you look like someone who's been using them for a long time.
Thank you.
So cool.
It's very cool.
I like how you did the skin tones. Like
I think I was saying this to you before, but like using these markers and having a more limited color palette was like really like took a lot of pressure out of it. Like decisions that might give you a bit of paralysis, like that didn't happen for me. I was just able to just jump in.
Brings the drawing to life just as much, in my opinion.
And then I like actually tried like a character piece, and it like worked really well. And I also finished with the you can kind of just see I used the white gel pen. Sorry,
isn't it funny that the white gel pen is one of those things where like it's a garnish, use just a little bit. That's all you need, and it goes.
It takes it so far.
And that's where we're starting. So that's pretty crazy because you guys have just mucked around in your spare time. But now we've got a couple of days in studio to really dive into it.
Very exciting.
How did you approach your dabble, Alicia?
I started off with a sphere, just basic shape, just to sort of try out the graphite pencils. I wanted to try a few of the different markers, like the chisel one and the brush one, and a few of the ones that I didn't really get to do. Just trying to become a bit more looser with my brush strokes.
I love that little doggy.
Yeah, I drew a little like corgi looking dog. I thought it was pretty cute. We were talking about like having like graphic shapes for like hair and fur. So I sort of tried to do that and tried to do less of a blended marker style and more of a 3D
like a cell shaded. Did you lightly sketch in pencil where the shading would go and fill that in?
I did do that.
I could see that, and it actually adds a really nice sharpness to the edge of the shading. It looks really cool.
Thanks. That was unintentional, but I was a bit precious with this one, so I just wanted to like pencil it in before I committed to anything. I played around with some shapes, and then I started doing a few thumbnails and ideas for my dive.
So this is what you're thinking of like diving into tomorrow?
Yeah.
Love it. All right, double time with Morgan. Okay. Oh, you moved over to your wet medium book. Okay.
I sort of was like been obsessed with the markers. So I came in here and I hadn't touched this, and then you showed the liquid graphite off.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
It is one of those things, as soon as you see it working, like,
sick.
Okay, I want to play with it.
Like, this is, I've never thought to use pencils like that ever. And like, I tried watercolors like a handful of times when I was younger, like, you know, a kid. Didn't work for me. But then it looked so easy when you did it. This is a perfect place to start. And you can, take what you learned with this and move on to watercolors. Yeah. And like, it would inform that perfectly. But I tried like some, characters. Just staying on.
Dude, I love your like the warped proportions, like character. What do you call it? Caricature style, but it's not like it's not quite caricatures. It's like really accentuated character features. Why? What's your approach there? Where did you learn that?
That's sort of.
It's really cool.
A lot of it comes from watching and just observing art and artists do a similar approach, and it just looked really fun. And also, just for me, like it helps capturing like a gesture, like a movement. Like if you can just pull someone's face literally in that direction, like
it's like clay.
Yeah, exactly. And Alicia tried with her dog picture, just the red like sketch and just drawing straight over it, and I felt like it just made everything pop a little bit. Like I still haven't really worked out a way that I want to kind of use it, but it was really fun to play with, and it still looks cool. And then I did something terrible.
So take us through this next monstrosity. What was going through your head when you started drawing this?
I don't know. No, I literally just drew a line, and I was like, oh yeah, that's like kind of like
that's a bud.
That's a demon twerking. I can totally see that. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, like the pose was just really fun, and then I also I don't know why it needed to be a skull like vomiting like smoke, but
it just did.
It had to.
Yeah, it was calling to you. Yeah, I totally get it.
I think as well on this one the orange really like worked quite well, like sort of like gives it some, I don't know, it's almost like
kind of looks
3D
like
glasses.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. It's like a 3D effect.
It could even be cool to experiment with the blue. This was just like planning stuff for tomorrow, but I don't know, I don't think I'll use this.
It's the sifting that actually makes you a better artist.
It's like my shame page.
Yeah, you don't hide the shame page. This is all about
everyone's got a shame page.
Fine.
And you can find your shame page, but also become a better artist and have a lot of fun exploring by checking out the link in the description. Go to prosketchpack.com. Boom! Oh, doesn't that look high quality?
Oh my god.
Check this out. What? This is so worthwhile. Nah, for real guys, this has been in development for a year now, and it's been a real passion project. I've had a lot of people on the behind the scenes sort of feeding back and involved in what are the best choices, because at the end of the day when I make something like this, it has to be the absolute best curation of things that I possibly can make. It's also the most custom thing I've ever made. Like the custom sketchbooks, the completely hand-designed case that it all comes with and protects it all in, and is really, really premium quality. Jazza's Pro Sketch Pack is a premium and extremely carefully curated, everything you need from start to finish sketch pack, including a sketch guide for those of you who feel a little at sea or maybe want to start learning how to draw and how to figure out your ideas, but don't really have the confidence, especially when putting a mark on paper feels pretty permanent. It can be a little overwhelming. So there is a handmade guide by yours truly in there to take you through the process and through all of the mediums and the ways that you can use them together. There's over $200 worth of premium professional illustration and sketching materials in the sketch pack, and it's yours for $99 and for a limited time. This is only going to be sold for about a month, so get one while you can and while stocks are available. That was just our dabble. We have a whole day of diving to get into, so let's get into it. It's the next day, and I'm here with special guests Alicia and Morgan. Over to you, Alicia.
So this is my dive. I knew I wanted to do like a horse, and I wanted to get some like chunky sort of fur textures, so I added the wings, and I just added a cute little character as well. So I started with the blue construction pencil for like my initial sketch, just because I knew I wanted to add some red later, and I thought it would be nice having like the two colors. And then I did like a more refined sketch with the mechanical pencils, because I knew I wanted to use the liquid graphite pencils, but if I added lines, like the mechanical pencils pencils would stay where they are.
Yes.
So I used a combination of the two. And then once all the lines are done, I started with the liquid graphite pencils.
Yeah.
And I just blocked out some like shadow shapes.
What did your vibe feel like working on this as opposed to your sort of rough and more experimental sketches? Because this is a really delicate and refined result. Like, it's really polished. So, like, how do you switch your approach? And how are you approaching this one?
I think I was a little bit precious with this one. Before I would do anything with a liquid graphite pencil, I would do it with the blue sketching pencil just to make sure I 100% liked it and that was 100% where it was going to be. So I was being very, very precious about it, which did take me quite a while in comparison to my dabbles. But I think it really paid off in the end.
I think it looks incredible. You've done a fantastic job. Oh, and I just realised they're blades of grass.
Yeah.
They're huge.
So
we're like little in Elf
It's a
World.
tiny little,
I love that. That's so good. Well done.
Thank you so much.
That's great. It's interesting seeing the touches of colours. When people think about sketching, usually they think about the graphite sketching. Ink can also sort of be further to that or whatever, but like when you get into markers and colour pencils as well.
I think it's pretty liberating as well. Like there were times where I was thinking of using the green to like colour in the grass, but then I thought like that's not really what these are made for. Like they're very subtle and they're very light. And
that's a really interesting point actually, because it kind of highlights one of the, I guess, the subconscious purposes of it is directing attention.
Yeah.
And if you did that, my attention would be pulled away to the grass.
Yeah.
But by doing it the way you've done it, the red that brings to life the characters' faces, actually, in fact, even the blue is most prevalent in the horse.
Yeah.
And the character, and then the red is sort of like even more subtle but more central to where your attention goes. So it works really well, not so much as a literal guide, but as an attention guide.
Yeah, that was totally intentional. Thank you.
Well done. Morgan.
Hey.
What rhymes with Morgan? I was trying to...
Organ.
Take it away, Morgan.
I went to high school. This morning, busted out this little thumbnail. Yeah, that was sort of like...
Inspired by what? What are you vibing at the moment?
I sort of like...
Aside from twerking demons, what is in Morgan's psyche right
This
now?
is like the demon picture I'd shown you before that I'd done in my spare time. I just, witches, demons, like there's something about it's like the inkiness of it. It's almost like a tattoo-y thing.
Yeah.
To me, like, just makes me want to draw like sharp, like angular sort of...
Yeah, very graphic
sort of things.
Yeah.
And those shapes to me like just pull me toward tattoo
comic-esque style,
comic stuff. And I just wanted to draw a cute lady.
So you started with
the
mechanical pencil after
pencil.
your
Practicing with it yesterday and last week and stuff. I found that like the more construction and planning you do, once you've got everything laid out and you know where everything needs to be, you are basically colouring it.
Yeah.
Much more playful when you've got a nice sort of roadmap. After the mechanical pencil, I actually rubbed it all down, went in with the orange construction pencil. They're pushing through the markers gave it a bit of like energy and life.
Brings it to life, yeah.
Yeah, and so then got the construction pencil in there, moved on. This was something that Kat actually told us to do. You get like the lightest marker you can and just mark everything in. Like when I was doing this black shiny material, marking all that in first with the grey.
Ah, I see.
Gave me like sort of something I could sort of just trace over.
Yeah.
It's like going in with straight black is like terrifying.
Yes.
You can very easily stuff it up.
That's a great idea.
Sort of like doing a practice one with a light colour before you commit to the dark colour.
Yeah.
Brilliant. There you go. Kat is in this video.
Cheers.
Thanks, Kat. I do like. It's probably a good moment to just interrupt and say congratulations, Kat. She has had a beautiful baby boy. So
Yay!
But obviously she couldn't join us. She's otherwise occupied. But we've sent her our best wishes, and I'm sure you do too. Anyway, as you were.
As I was. Okay, yes. So then once I got all that in, I got a rough idea of the colours, and I went in with the brush pen.
The big long one.
Big long one. Yes.
How much of the piece was that? Was it all of it, or because there's quite detailed areas?
I actually used brush one, and then was it
a flex liner?
It might have been. Yes.
Yeah.
Little so good.
Plastic tips. Yeah.
So good for the just finer lines. It still has like a bit of the sort of sweepy like
line weight variation.
Yeah. Exactly. And then I actually ended up using the construction pencils again, and sort of just like
Yeah. I was going to point that out. The way you've sort of like, you've shaded the skin in the warmer greys and a lot of the rest in the cool greys. And then you've gone in and highlighted, or shadowed actually. You've accentuated shadows with the red. Yeah. Red on the warm greys and blue on the cool greys.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting because it's not like you've coloured in the piece per se.
Not really.
And yet the whole thing feels like a finished coloured piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like really showing how you can take a sketch to the level where it feels like a full final illustration, but you don't need 1,000 alcohol markers or pencils.
Absolutely not. You can achieve something that looks finished and it's stylistic, but it looks complete.
I like the little bits of blue as well.
Thanks.
Very subtle.
It's incredible. Your style is phenomenal, and I tend to be quite heavy-handed in the line weight department myself, so I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
We can share that in common. It's really cool. Awesome. It looks sick, and the pose itself is like the fact that it twists so much, and that the way the legs sort of turn out, and you can see the bottom of the boot, but the front of the face is so cool.
I've tried to do that a lot, and this is maybe the first time I've actually.
It works.
And I can't believe I did it on paper.
Like, no control.
I
mean, your digital work is incredible, but there's something very visceral and kind of earned about an artwork on paper.
Yes.
It's
really
much more satisfying.
That's so cool to hear because it's incredible to see.
It's very nostalgic as well. It was taking me back to colouring in as a kid.
It actually brought up a lot of stuff that I'd kind of forgotten from like going to art school, but it's like it took me right back, and I was like, you definitely had a point. Some of those teachers.
This was so cool, you guys. This is amazing. I hope you enjoyed the packs.
Absolutely.
But it's been such a treat to see you use it.
I'm keeping them forever.
Do you know what I'm keeping forever? Our patrons. Or I hope I am, because we love our patrons. Actually, we've since the new year released a patron schedule that we're keeping to and having a lot of fun doing. So there's a whole bunch of behind the scenes. If you want more tutorial-esque content, that's all on Patreon. So go check it out and support us. It helps make our videos possible, and we're eventually going to upgrade our set, and that will be thanks to Patreon.
There was a stage where Morgan was like, I wish this sketch pack had like a grey fine liner. And I was like, just use the other side of the...
Everything.
So it really has everything that you need.
That's amazing. Yeah. I'm so glad to hear that.
Good.
That's great to hear. And I guess that's a reminder. Go check it out. Links in the description. It's limited edition and only available for 3 or 4 weeks. So get it while you can.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks.
This is my love heart in the face. You got to do it in the face because if it's low, because your head's out. I always present these things.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.